Hey, hey, good people. We are back at a little after 9. I wasn't on time tonight. A little after 9. Tonight we're talking about relationship lessons and blessings story time. Oh, I told y'all I was going to start this series, and today I had a very unique encounter. I don't even want to call it an encounter because it actually was planned. Hey IG, hey Facebook, hey YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I said I was going to start like sharing certain things more because God knows I love a good story time. But today I had a lunch meeting with a familiar face. We'll call it that. I had a lunch meeting today with a familiar face. Hey, y'all, familiar face. And I was like, I got to tell this story time tonight. So I was like, I'm going to be very specific about this live. So I can keep it short and sweet. I'm not gonna hold y'all long, but definitely wanted to go live and make sure I get started on my lessons and blessings story time. So years ago, y'all, many years ago, and I want to say this was probably like 7 years ago, okay? I was introduced to this guy. We were in the same social group. It was a Christian social group. I ain't gonna name it because ain't nobody trying to draw attention to the Christian social group. I was a part of a Christian social group. We became friends, and honestly, y'all, we hit it off. Things were good, things were cool. No big deal. We got to know each other and just really became super tight as friends. He had a girlfriend at the time. I was dating someone at the time, so it was not romantic at all. It was legitimately just platonic, okay? Fast forward after about 2 years of getting to know each other as friends, he had let me know that he and his girlfriend had broken up. And because he and his girlfriend had broken up, he wanted to shoot his shot. Okay, cool. We were friends, was didn't have any problems with that. We moved it into a romantic space. But during this time, he's like moving real funny. And y'all know your girl can't stand when ninjas move funny. I am a lot more perceptive than people give me credit for. Trust me. I may not see it right away, but I will see it. I noticed that he had a ton of girlfriends, and that's always a red flag for me. Men who have a bunch of girls around are usually some first grade A type of horse, whether y'all want to admit it or not. And I'm telling you, that was sketchy to me, but he was always like on his phone talking to these ladies, right? And I think, okay, I personally, y'all, made the decision a long time ago when I divorced my ex-husband who cheated on me. If I ever felt like I had to check up on a man, check phone records, check DMs, I'm not doing all of that. I just don't want to be with him. If I can't trust you to not be doing that stuff, I don't need to be with you. That's just my rule. I ain't going to stress out. I ain't going to argue. I ain't going to fight. That's my rule. So I noticed he was moving a little funny. Next thing you know, this new woman appears in his life to help him. And he has this event where I have actually helped him with something he's working on. And this lady is there. And I noticed at one point during the event, he would not kiss me for nothing. Now, y'all, I done met the mama, the grandmama, the child, like met him, okay? Met his family. And when we get to this event, he won't even kiss me. And I saw the woman that he was working with make a motion to him, and she's like, this. Baby, he acted like I was non existent, and he went to her. And I was like, that's really odd. So when I asked him about it, he was like, "Oh no, she's just helping me. This is somebody I'm bringing on my team. It ain't like that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Fast forward, I see that he's constantly texting and messaging her. So I'm like, "Okay, Winter, you're not crazy. Like, this is very shady." All that to say, he pops up and posts a photo of him and her on his IG after declaring that he don't post no public photos. I'm like, this ninja here. Now he does it under the disguise of she's promoting my brand, she's helping me, but y'all know when your ninja is feeling somebody, right? So eventually I just confronted him and I'm like, I don't trust this. Something is very off. I'm done. So I broke up with him. Y'all, not even 6 months later, they were married. This same person he said was just a friend, they ended up getting married. All that to say, I remember him making all of these comments about his ex. And there was something that he said that didn't add up to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to reach out to her. Y'all, I reached out to his ex. She responds. We get into a whole conversation comparing notes. Essentially, what he did to me, he did to her about me. Basically, saying that I was just a friend. It was nothing serious. I was just helping him with his brand. And next thing she knows, as soon as they finish, he's with me. She goes on, she has all of those she has all of these receipts. I have receipts, y'all. Anyway, we forge this friendlyship. We're not friends yet, we're friendly. But it literally uniquely bonded us in a way that it was like sometimes people be having you thinking that people are crazy until you sit and talk with them and get the T and the 411 and they got receipts to back up everything they're saying where you can't deny it. And we both were sitting there like, what is going on? She's in the chat and I don't want to call her out. But she knows who she is. All that to say, we never got an opportunity to connect. And we finally got an opportunity to connect. And I'm like, I don't know what has taken us so long to finally get connected like this. But I feel like because of that experience, we're weirdly bonded in a very strange way. And I say all that, I share that story to say, um, y'all quit listening to people who love to shoot down. They'll like to say, "Oh, she's bitter. Oh, I don't know why she's so upset. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, she was just jealous and insecure." Them be the main ninjas that be out here living foul and just mad because they got caught. That was very much the case with her and I. You said same thing happened to me, girl. I befriended the girl who sent me the screenshots of my ex-husband. I'll tell you another story. I'm gonna tell y'all another story. So that particular lesson became a blessing. Because honestly, y'all, she is absolutely bomb. Absolutely bomb. And I hate that we discount certain people because of what people have shared, and they don't ever tell their ish and how they contributed to the problem. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm crazy, all right, but did you tell how I would why I was acting crazy or how I became crazy in that moment? So, this was same year. I can't even make this stuff up. Same year. Oh my god. Same year, y'all. I received an email from a young lady who wanted to book my coaching services. I was like, "Cool, no problem. Here's my Calendly. Book your session. I'll be on as soon as possible." So I come to the date, session is booked. I log in to talk with her, y'all. And we are literally, I'm asking her questions, getting to know her, asking her why she sought out coaching. She said she read my divorce book on Amazon, saw the link to email me, and was interested in my coaching services because she too had just come through a divorce. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, this is where I'm going to ask you to give me a little grace. And I'm like, sure, no problem. Like, this is a judgment free zone. And she was like, I started dating someone recently, and they have met my kids. It's going well. I think that we're headed for a very long-term relationship. I'm in love with him. He said he's in love with me. We're basically traveling back and forth to see each other. And she said he said something to me that really had me concerned. And I'm like, oh no, like what had you concerned? She was like, he said something that made me go and check his Facebook. And she was like, well, not check his Facebook, but check Facebook. And she was like, he doesn't have any social media, but his brother did. And up until a certain point, he had never mentioned his brother's name. So when he told me what his brother's name was, I went and looked up his brother's Facebook page, and I saw that he was engaged. And y'all, I'm like, oh my gosh, he was engaged. The man you were seeing was engaged. She was like, yes. So remember the grace part? And I was like, yes. She was like, that is where I need you to apply that grace right now. And I don't want you to feel like I've misled you or led you on in any way. But the man that I've been dating is your ex. I was like, huh? Say what now? She was like, yeah, he said who you were, and I went and I found you. And the only thing I found on you was your book on Amazon. And so I read the book. And at the end of the book, you listed your information. And so, because of that information, I went and emailed you and set up this appointment. And I just wanted to know, is he really engaged? Y'all, I was like, what in the world is my life that this could have honestly happened to me? Like, what? You have been seeing? I was like, I'm sorry, I need a minute. I feel ambushed in this moment because this honestly has nothing to do with me, yet you are telling me that you are the other woman. Y'all, I can't even hold you. She contacted everyone that she knew that was contacted to him, that was connected to him, to tell them that they have been seeing each other while he was seeing someone else, and that she was heartbroken that she had found out that he was engaged and she did not know this. Yet she felt it necessary to find me as his ex and tell me this situation. I politely excused myself from the conversation. I contacted him and I said, listen here, you better figure your stuff out. This lady is coming through like a mighty Russian wind, and you have hurt her deeply. I suggest you make it right before she blows up everything in your life. I don't understand why she reached out to me, but this is what happened. And I need you to fix it. Y'all, I can't make this stuff up. I'm so serious. Anyway, thank you so much, Nana. I appreciate that. And it's Nana or Lisa. Thank you. But I was like, why you contact me? Anyway, I felt really bad for her after hearing her situation. So she contacted me to apologize. And she said, I wasn't trying to be messy or involve you, but I really didn't know any other way because when I had addressed him, all he would do was lie. And so she was like, you were my next best option. And she was like, by the way, Yes, it is a like, girl, I'm telling you, my life could certainly be about 3 Lifetime movies. And she was like, I had to contact you because um, first of all, you're not what he says you are. You're quite lovely. And I was like, well, what did he say? So she was like, he has some very not nice things to say about you. But now that I've met you and talked to you, he's a liar. And I just want to say, I'm so glad you got out of that. You definitely deserve better. I'm so sorry that I had to involve you in this. And I was like, I'm not involved. That's between you and him. I have informed him and let him know that he needs to figure this out. Anyway, from that point forward, hey, Lady B, we became cool. She actually came to an event I did. And again, I mean, I think so often when people go through certain situations, it's easy for us to point the finger versus actually getting to know someone. And there's always two sides to every story. But a lot of times, these ninjas that be involved in foolery, y'all, they have a laundry list of foolishness that we don't often know about until some time has passed. And sometimes it only takes like the right intersection for you to find out the truth. Glover, no, I'm not. Um, but I thought that was just so weird. Last but not least, um, my last and final so y'all, for the longest time, you guys know that I was cheated on in my first marriage, and w- the young lady was my nanny, right? And I hadn't seen her since the situation went down. Um, so some years go by, and my kids and I go into the grocery store, and literally all of a sudden my kids scatter in the grocery store like roaches. And I'm like, where y'all run off to? So eventually they come back to me, and I'm like, where did y'all go? And they said, our brother is here. And I'm like, our brother is here. I'm like, all the kids is with me. What you mean your brother is here? I'm confused. It dawns on me that they're actually referring to their half brother. And I'm like, oh no, this can't be. There's no way. There's no way. So I'm like, wait a minute. If their half brother is in this grocery store, does that mean, y'all, I kid you not, it had been 7 years, maybe 8, since I had laid eyes on her. It had been a long time. Next thing you know, we are going to leave because I was actually getting ready to catch a flight somewhere. So I was going to check out and I was headed out to leave. Sure enough, next thing I hear is, hi, Winter. I'm like, I know this voice. I turn around. It is her. My kids are with me. So I'm like, Winter, respond well. You have to. And I was like, hi, how are you? And she said, I'm well. Um, it's good to see you. I said, okay. She was like, how have you been? I said, I'm well. How have you been? She was like, I'm good. She was like, well, it's good to see you. I said, no worries. Her other son, who was there with her that day, was like, Mommy, who is that? And why is she with them? And he's pointing at my kids. And she was like, that's their mom. And he was like, oh, hi. And I'm like, hi, sweetheart. How are you? And I said, well, we got to go. I'll talk to you. I said, well, we got to go. You have a nice day. Not talk to you later, but have a nice day. She's like, yeah, you too. And I could tell she literally looked like she had seen a ghost. So we leave out of the store. My oldest daughter is like, Mom, I am so proud of you and the way you handled that because I did not know how that was going to go. And I said, Kayla, it's okay. Y'all, I never think anymore about that day. I move on with my life. Last year, I go, so you guys know I'm seeing someone else. Okay. So, hi, YouTube family. How are y'all? So you guys know I'm seeing someone else, and we have been dating for, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of when this is. I want to say this is like May or June of last year. So this was almost like a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is like May or June of last year. We had just started dating. And we go to this restaurant in our area. I had on this beautiful blue, I mean not blue, but purple outfit, y'all. I was fire, okay? My makeup was done. I look really good, okay? But anyway, so I'm on this date with my with my boo, right? And we are leaving. And as we are leaving, I was like, "Oh, we got to get a picture." And he was like, "Okay, cool." So we stop on the stairs to take this picture, but y'all know sometimes the picture don't always give what it needs to give because you doing a selfie. And so we're trying to take this picture. This couple says, "Oh my gosh, we'll take the picture for y'all." And I was like, "Okay, thank you so much." So my boo goes to give his phone to the couple, and the guy goes to snap. It's a man and a woman. So the guy goes to snap the photo. The woman, her eyes start to get big. And me and my boo are totally confused, y'all. Like, we are like, what is happening? She literally, her eyes kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And literally, tears started to form in her eyes. And she said, Winter? And I was like, yeah. I'm so clueless at this point. Yeah. And I'm thinking she watches the show, y'all, like nothing is clicking because I don't recognize her at all. She said, "Oh my God, you look amazing." And I said, "Thank you." She was like, "You don't remember me." And I was like, "I'm sorry. I don't." I said, "I can't place your face." She says, and she tells me her name. Y'all, it clicks to me. At that moment, I look at her again and I'm like, OMG. Y'all, it is literally the sister of the nanny that had the affair with my ex. So she literally, y'all, is in tears. And my boo, my boo is with me. He's confused. He has no clue what is going on right now. He is an innocent bystander in this. He's literally just watching because he's like, I don't know what's going on right now. But she literally, tears start to well in her eyes. And I'm just like, it was like an out of body experience, but I just hugged her. And I said, it's okay. I said, I'm good. No worries. It's good to see you. I hope you are well. And she was like, oh my God. She said, this is crazy. She said, you look phenomenal. She's like, you look like you're doing amazing. I said, I am. And I appreciate that. I said, wish you well. And apparently I'll see you around. Y'all, and why is my life like this? But bless her heart, it's one of those things where I'm a person I don't hold on to grudges long. I'm not a grudge holder. I get riled up about stuff and I forget 2 seconds later. I'm just not a person that holds on to things. And even as painful as that situation was, it had been so long ago. I'm just like, I've forgiven him. I've forgiven all parties, honestly, and moved on. But you could tell it was weird, but it's like she carried some of the embarrassment and shame from it. I can't explain it, but I could sense that. And for whatever reason, like seeing me really triggered her, and triggered that shame and that embarrassment from it. And I just feel like when you get to a place of forgiveness, if you're ever confronted with the thing, you should lead with your forgiveness. I tell people all the time, I have forgiven much worse, and I have encountered people that have done me wrong. But once I've moved on, if I see them in public, either I'm just going to keep going about my merry way, or I'm going to treat them with kindness. I don't have time to hold animosity and hate in my heart for anyone. That's regardless of who it is. But that was like a prime example of my my forgiveness being tested, and boy, has it been tested. But I have certainly been in some crazy situations where it's like, Lord, why is my life like this? But it was a teachable moment. And I try to be an example of what it is to extend grace to people that have hurt you and wronged you. And people often wonder why I don't look like what I've been through. It's because I don't hold grudges and I don't hold on to hurt from people that have hurt me. Even in the people that I would never like interact or engage with, I don't wear them on my heart. I will tell the truth of a thing, but I ain't going to dwell there. I'm never going to sugarcoat it. Um, but the reality is I can move on from it and I cannot dwell in it. And I think to me, that is the essence of forgiveness. The ability to move forward without it impacting you in a way that if you're ever confronted by the thing that has hurt you or caused you pain in some way, that it doesn't keep you from moving forward and embracing your own life. And I don't feel like half of the things that I've experienced that have been good for me would continue to be good for me if I didn't have that attitude of grace and forgiveness. It's not easy because some people test my patience, but over time, I let it go. Like it just does not become worth it to me to continue to hold on to certain things. So that's my story time for tonight. I'll be back with more story times. If you enjoyed this story time, let me know in the comments. Do not leave without clicking like if you're on YouTube. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, do not leave without subscribing to my YouTube channel because eventually all of these story times will be 100% on YouTube. We'll get into some more story times because y'all, I got stories for days. But I feel like everyone has a story to tell. And at some point, I will honestly bring other people on here to share their lessons and blessings from their relationship experiences because I feel like every single relationship we go through will either teach us a lesson or it'll be a blessing. And right now, I'm in a great place where I'm experiencing a blessing and my relationship is strong and it's healthy and it's with someone I'm equally yoked with. But how many frogs did I have to go through and grow through to get to this good thing? I ain't even gonna hold you. And it's so funny. Just really get into this place where it's like, y'all, I can talk about my shortcomings. I can talk about my bad habits. I can talk about the toxicity that I've had to overcome. I can talk about the flaws that I've had. One of the most powerful experiences that I've had is apologizing to my ex-husband who cheated on me. Now, granted, I do not take any ownership for his cheating because that's a choice and I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I literally had to recognize that some of the challenges that we had in our relationship, I contributed to. And I think sometimes we focus so much on the thing that's done to us that we don't focus on the things that we do that can hinder us from being able to move forward in a healthy way. Trust me, stories for days. that particular conversation is why I feel like God always continues to bless me and he covers me. And I finally got to this place where I'm in a safe relationship where I feel loved and heard and supported. But that's because I've had to grow into this woman that was able to give the things that she knew she deserved and that she wanted. And it took going and growing through all of these situations to get to where I could be receptive and a giver in these situations as well. That's our first relationship lessons and blessings story time. We'll be back next week with more stories. Like I said, y'all, I got stories for days. And if you can't learn nothing else, maybe to help you avoid some of the mistakes that I made. But life is about learning and it's about improvement. And that's all we are here to do until the day we die. And my goal as I grow my channel is to just be authentic and speak the truth. I got nothing to hide. So it's like, child, might as well just go ahead and be honest about it. And maybe it can help somebody. But y'all have an amazing night and I'll see you soon.